there are still so many organizations with AI initiatives that start really strong, but then they don't really pick up beyond the pilot phase. There's folks out there who, you have conversations with them and they'll say that they have pilot fatigue because they've tried it so many times over the last 2-3 years. On the services side, we see that as well, where data science teams, they're building models where, you have really high percentage of accuracy, but then it doesn't really hold when it's when it encounters the messy real world clinical data, right? So in your experience, like, where do you see when you do the postmortems of these projects, like, where do you see, as the top 3 reasons for, we've done the homework, we've done the analysis of these use cases, we have a business case in place, but despite good data and good models, these projects aren't really picking up beyond the pilot phase. Where do you see that, the gap?
Yeah. And I think, again, linking it up to the trends of the current market, right now, there's a lot of hype around no code and being able to pilot solutions quickly. So unfortunately or fortunately, you can take a business problem and you can demo basically a working solution. That's how most of these, AI projects start, is that you have to demonstrate feasibility given the data, given kind of the model's capabilities to achieve some signal. And then you're not looking for high accuracy during pilot phases because you're just doing something quickly. And depending on the type of model you're deploying, whether it's Gen AI, deep learning, you have some other applications that you're building, you're not necessarily testing for accuracy. You're looking for promise to deliver on that business outcome. So the thing to kind of consider is that during those pilot phases, you give objectives to your teams that, just, feature engineer or create these models that are optimized for a specific outcome. They're just looking for signal. And when you give them a green light, then they go into the production. And so in order for them to scale the models to, let's say, enterprise scale in healthcare, one thing to notice, especially, when I was working at Mayo Clinic, there was close to 100 specialties that we had. So something that works within one area of the practice, hematology, oncology, may not necessarily scale well to another area of the practice, especially if you're looking for an enterprise-wide solution. So there's a lot of variation you have to consider. So your pilot couldn't have been, scale to all the entirety of variation across the practice. And now you're starting to uncover these edge cases. And, with Gen AI hallucination rates, or maybe there's a nuanced data that you're seeing in this cases. So majority of time when you're building a deployment ready solution, you're now exposing your models to these edge cases